I got a vision. I've been trying to do this reading since 5:15. I did it twice and there was no sound. I don't get it. The first time I tried to use my AirPods because the yard guys were here, lawn people, whatever you want to call them. And the second time I decided to use this thing, it's called a Blue Snowball, which was supposed to be working. Both times the system said I had audio and I even tested it, but it didn't work. So there's something wacky going on with the software. But I did a test on one of my other Facebook pages, and according to that test, I do have sound. So here we go. This is called Alone But Not Lonely, which is kind of ironic, right? First quote is from Rumi, the Persian mystic poet of the Middle Ages, who says, "Do not feel lonely. The entire universe is inside you. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Set your life on fire." And that was the great Rumi. And if you don't know of Rumi, look him up. Rumi. Lots and lots of translated stuff from Persian into English. And Ernest Holmes, in one of his more flowery moments, says, "You exist, that divine feeling, fire, imagination, and creativity may be expressed through you." And that's this thing called you on page 72, paragraph 2. So in other words, you are an expression of the divine. And I did go into an explanation of that. You know, a lot of times you will hear people in any either mystical or metaphysical realms saying that you are God. And it's often misinterpreted. Nobody, at least should be, nobody that I know is implying that you are the whole of God. I remember that there's been a couple of movies where people have, for whatever reason, either become God or taken on God's qualities. And some of them were kind of humorous, but it's nothing like that. It means you are an expression of the divine. And in Christian terms, it will be called you are a temple of the Holy Spirit, which is saying the same thing exactly. So part of the experience of self-love, this is Reverend Michelle says, is enjoying my own company when no one else is around. That is being alone. However, the experience of being lonely is entirely different. Being lonely has an element of yearning in it. I wish somebody else was here. I don't want to be on my own. Being lonely is the feeling and fear that no one else is here with me. And it can be for various reasons. And Reverend Michelle says, for instance, because I'm not worthy or I'm not lovable. It's the feeling that something is wrong or not as it should be. In other words, there's no one else here, and I wish there was. In a sense, the experience of loneliness feels quite real to the human heart. And I would say, yeah, it is real and to the person experiencing it. Yet there has never been a moment, nor will there ever be a moment, when any of us are truly alone. Why? Because we're always in the company of the divine, as us and around us and through us. Part of the journey out of any sense of loneliness is to remember this truth and begin to feel that presence again. We can feel the ecstatic motion of the divine as us. We can feel the fire of aliveness burning brightly in our souls. We can sense our deepest selves. And she says, this is part of the journey that allows us to enjoy and embrace being alone. We recognize that being without the presence of others isn't anything to be upset about or to be ashamed of. And that we court the presence of our being so that we remember the fire of our own presence. In this, we can be alone and never lonely. So part of this is building up our inner strength through our spiritual work and reading, listening to good stuff, taking quiet time, affirmations, so that we build up that strength within ourselves so that when there are times when we're alone, we're perfectly happy with it. But there are times in life when we don't feel that way. And especially if we've not built up what the mystics would call this presence. And that's okay once we come to accept the fact that it's not our fault. It's nothing that we've done or that we are that has produced this aloneness. Or if we have caused it, there's nothing to stop us changing and going out and meeting people again. But sometimes we need help in doing that. And that's where community comes in. That's where people like myself and other ministers, practitioners, priests, therapists can actually help. And if you need to reach out to someone for that help, please do so, whether it's to me, some of my comrades, or someone else. It's really okay. And if you do need help, please do reach out to us. My phone number is there. You can text me. It's the easiest way to get me. As a kid, I used to visit shut-ins or people who lived alone. And what they wanted was often just a listening ear. And that's what you and I can be to people who feel alone, feel lonely. We can be a listening ear, not to give advice, not to repeat back our own experiences, but simply to be there, to be with them, and to listen to them, and to let them know by our presence that they are a worthy part of our human society. That is my message for today. For the third time, it's been a little bit different each time, but it's been relatively consistent. And if by some miracle the sound appears on the other two recordings, well, you'll find out that although I said it a little bit differently, it's the same message. You are a worthy person. You are a worthwhile person. You deserve love. You deserve self-love and human love. And you deserve to feel that being alone can be good and that being lonely can be overcome. Whether I'm alone or not, I'm always in the presence of the divine. And this is what the mystics are always telling us. Whether I'm alone or not, I'm always in the presence of the divine. So look out for my colleague, Reverend Lisa, tomorrow morning at 9:15. Look out for me around about 5 p.m. tomorrow, Central Time. I'll be on whatever channel you saw me on. And Reverend Lisa will be on Creative Life Spiritual Center's Facebook page. Until next time. Namaste. Namaste.